Hey, it's Teapot. Best laid plans. I have Pillager out here, and only having wood tools, I don't have very effective ways of dealing with them. So, what I'm going to do is get some boats and try and put these pillagers away in boats. So, I'm going to go ahead and get some wood. This is going to contribute to my trying to build things. So I'm going to go ahead and build 5 boats. I'm going to put them all on my hotbar. And I'm going to try and control these things. Let me get my food on the hotbar as well because it's not good. I was AFKing, doing the stuff behind the scenes. You can see I bred quite a few cows and sheep over there. I was trying to grow some more wood as well. And yeah, I was not expecting to have to deal with pillagers. So that's what we're going to do. And I may die, but we will see. That's where are these pillagers at? I really don't need to see a zombie too. That would be a bad thing. There's one of them. Okay. Let's see if I can get a pillager on the ground. Boat on the ground. Boat on the ground. Come on. Boat on the ground. Nope. See if I can eat and not die. And I'm dead. Cool, the pillager killed me. That was my first death of the series. Here I am at my spawn, and I have nothing now. And all my stuff's out here by this pillager. See if at least I can reclaim all my stuff and maybe get out here pretty soon. Come on. There's a boat. Come on, get in here. Come on. You get... Seriously. Fine. We'll do it this way then. Weak attacks, weak attacks, weak attacks. There we go. One pillager down. And I'm at half. Let's eat some bread. I guess we can try and find the rest of these pillagers. Not sure. I'm at a loss where the other pillagers were, but we did have quite a few of them. So I'm going to continue to look around here. Let's see what we can find. Um, so what I had wanted to show you is the stuff that I had done off screen. So I created this nice little path down to both the village that we have as well as the farms that we've made. I had made a pig pen and I actually had some pigs in here, but as you can tell by the creeper-sized hole in the 4 pork chop I have in here, I no longer have pigs in here. Of course, pigs aren't that big of a deal, but I thought it'd be nice to at least start the pig farm. But you can see over here I've got all of the cows taken care of. So we have a large collection of cows. I've been breeding them for a few days. Have a large collection of sheep as well because that's really my only source of wool at this point. And the farm over here is coming along quite nicely. I expanded it a little bit. I went ahead and made sure that I've got alternating rows so that they grow faster. But what I need to do, and what was just kind of demonstrated, is that I need to really kind of address this fact that I have no armor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to breed cows. And then all of the cows that are adult, I'm going to go ahead and kill. I can see the leather items just kind of hanging up there. All right. So we got a cow out here. That one just gave us steak. All right, so let's jump in and see what we get from these panels. All right, so I've got 35 leather. That's more than enough to make a suit of leather armor. So I need to get out of here. Gets me out. That's one last cow. All right, so we need to go ahead and make us a set of armor. And of course, the idea here is that we're going to need to start exploring. We've got all these different wood types that we need to acquire. And it's going to take us a while to acquire them. It's going to be pants and booties. Got some spare armor in here. I'm going to go ahead and tuck the leather and the beef away. So actually probably should tuck it all away at the house. But that fun is over. I've taken some dye and dyed my leather armor to some nice colors here. So I've got yellow from my hat. I've got red for my tunic. I've got blue for my leggings, gray for my shoes, and I kind of want to talk about what I've done on the inside. Now, a lot of older Minecraft players may recognize the CTM or Complete the Monument type maps that they used to do, and I've kind of taken that same approach here. So what I've got here is I've got the 10 different types of wood we have. So we have oak, birch. I've got a spot here for jungle, which we don't have, but jungle was one of these 3 types that came in right after oak. And then we've got our spruce. Then the next 2 that came in were acacia and dark oak. Then we had mangrove come in along with bamboo. We have the cherry wood, which we found the cherry bushes, and then pale oak is the most recent that's come into Minecraft. And what we need to do is we need to complete this by completing everything that you can create with oak. So every oak type. So obviously the oak planks we have. We've talked about the oak slabs. We also have an oak door here when we made our doors. We made fences, so we have our fence and fence gates. We have the boats that I tried to solve the issue with the pillagers, so I have the oak boat. And then these signs that I just made to label everything. And because oak is the most prevalent in most worlds, I've used the oak sign to kind of represent just a generic placeholder for what we have here. But there is some other stuff that we need to make out of oak. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of these oak logs. I'm going to get some planks, and we're going to go ahead and knock off this oak to kind of finish it off. So that's going to take all of our oak here. Now, obviously, we've got our oak stairs. So that kind of finishes the building blocks part of this. So we have the planks, slabs, and stairs. We also have fences and fence posts along with the boats. But then we also have what we would have as our redstone controllable components. Probably the easiest one would be the button. So I'm going to go ahead and create a button. We'd also have a pressure plate or a trap door. So I'm going to go ahead and create those. And so what we've got here for our oak is our button, our pressure plate, and our trap door. So this actually completes everything that we could create out of oak that's oak specific. Now there is other stuff that we can create out of wood that is not oak specific. So we can go ahead and talk about those things as well. So for example, I've got oak planks. I could make a bowl. So that's one of the things that I could do. We've created barrels already, but I could create a bookshelf if I had books. I could create a cartography table if I had paper, but remember that we do have our farm that we've got created. I could create a chest, which we've already done. We do have chiseled bookshelves, which I can do by using slabs and half slabs. So let me get some of these half slabs out. Keep one in there for contemporaneous purposes. But what I can do is I can bottom and top along with half slabs in the middle, and that gives us our chiseled bookshelf. And then, of course, we've done the crafting table, but you could also do a fletching table. You could also do a loom, as long as you have feathers or string. And then, of course, we've already created a bed, and we already have a stick, which is kind of the most obvious thing. So what we're trying to do is complete the monument here. We've completed everything for oak, and we can start putting everything that we have that's a wood component in here, which I'll go ahead and put in here. We've got our bowl, stick. We have all of our tools that we've got, which we've kind of kept our first tools up here. We have our chiseled bookshelf, and as we add stuff, we'll add stuff to this chest as well. All right, so what I've basically done now is we're getting ready to start on our journey to find those other wood types. So if you look at my inventory, you'll see I've got an additional set of leather armor that I've made. I've got me some extra axes, I've got me some extra shovels, I made a brand new pickaxe, and I've made a brand new sword. I'm taking my bundle with me. It's going to help to carry some extra stuff. I've got 3 of my boats that I made, and I've also got an oak boat with a chest. This is going to allow me to move some stuff if we have to cross water. Other than that, I got me a crafting table, I got me some extra wood, some extra sticks, and I think we're ready to go. So where we're at right now is -700, -300, and we're going to take a little bit of a journey, I think, off in this direction and just see what we get. Keep in mind the whole purpose of this journey is to find those extra wood types that we're missing. We've got a nice little valley right here that's a little bit sketchy, but let's go ahead and explore and see what happens. All right, this is kind of interesting. We've got this trough of wood, of dirt right here, and then quite a deep hole. We're not going to be digging down though, so don't worry. But this is a rather interesting formation, how you got basically the earth just being pushed up through that area. This is one of the things I love about exploring a new Minecraft world, is exploring all of the changes in the terrain. It's just going to be a wonderful wild walk. So let's go ahead and do some walking. And we've got a rose bush. That seems like something I'd like to actually take home. I haven't seen any of these too tall rose bushes in a while. So I'll go ahead and put those in and take those with. And there I see some squids. Squid would be nice because I could actually get some squid, get some leather, get some other stuff, and let's get some squidding. Come on. Be nice if I could actually get the squids. Seriously, I can't hit the squid? There we go. Never realized that squids would actually swim away from you after you've hit them. That's the second hit on the squid. I need to get some air. That's interesting. I'd never noticed that before. I keep following the squid until... There we go. And got some squid ink. Great. So now I can go and... it's interesting how this squid just kind of left some squid ink right here. I could have gotten that without having to kill. All right, but we're going to keep on climbing on these hills and exploring. At least temporarily. Almost time to sleep. There we go. Nighty night. All right. So real quick, we picked up our bed. Let's take a look at where we are. We have negative 1500, negative 500. Kind of gotten a little disoriented, so I want to make sure both of my numbers are increasing. That would be kind of this direction. There's no more fallen trees around here. I see all the fallen trees, but I don't see any mushrooms on there. These trees look very tall, but I do see up there, is that jungle? I think that might be jungle over there. If so, that would be our fifth wood type. That would be something nice to take home. These actually look like some of the oak trees, but we do have some jungle trees in there. And yeah, these are definitely jungle trees because they've got the cocoa attached to it. So let's go ahead and start chopping and making sure we can actually get some saps out of here. We need those saplings. Otherwise, all we're getting is just the wood, and we want to make sure that we can actually reproduce things. Need to go up just a little bit higher. And that's one of those new chickens there. Unfortunately, we're just not going to be able to bring much animals down with us. All right. So what we'll do is we'll just wait for these things to start to fall down, and maybe we can get some more jungle stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and climb this hill. I've got two saplings. That should be enough for now. All right, and that looks like one of the new cows for this area, jungle cow. So eventually we're going to want to take inventory of all these different animal types and maybe bring some of them back as well. So trying to get on top of this hill. One, it'd be a nice place to sleep because it is starting to get nighttime. And two, it'll let us look to see if there is any bamboo nearby. Oh, watermelons. Yeah, we definitely need some watermelons. Be able to add those to our farm. We're having quite a bit of success here on this journey. I'm going to go ahead and just take probably about half of these. I'll leave them for next time just to make sure there isn't any issues with what we've got. And we're going to continue looking around here. We're at the top of this hill, but we are still looking for bamboo, hoping we can see some bamboo. So I'm going to keep walking along the edge of this. There's some more of those wild chickens. And I'm not really seeing any bamboo, which is a little frustrating. That means we're going to have to wait on that other wood type. That's interesting. Haven't seen those eggs before. I probably want to go ahead and stay here for a while and just make sure I can get some of these new eggs. Let's go ahead and sleep for the night. All right. All right, so we've got our bed. And we're going to continue to look around here at least for a little while. We're still in the throes of the jungle. Ah, and here we are. We finally found some bamboo. The edge of this cliff. So we're going to have to navigate down. Hopefully not take too much damage. Ouch. Ouch. All right, and this is one of the reasons we brought the swords, was so that we could get some of this bamboo. All right, so I'll go ahead and use this sword to clear a path. Am I picking up any of the bamboo? Goodness, I've got a lot of stuff in my inventory. So let's go ahead and take our bundle. We'll pick up those cocoa leaves, pick up the egg. We'll pick up these jungle saps. We'll pick up some of the bamboo and pick up as much of the watermelon as we can. So now that bundle is full. And we do need to still kind of figure out our way through here. Eventually, I imagine we'll probably want to, okay, and I just lost my sword. But eventually what we'll want to do is get a panda and bring it back to civilization. But I do see some red out there, some red clay and some red sand. So it looks like we're starting to get to these drier climates, and this drier climate is going to be really helpful because it means we're probably going to find a savanna. And we're going to start seeing some of the new 1.21.5 stuff. I don't have anything silk touch or shears, but I can get this flower. So we now have a nice cactus flower. And it looks like over there might be a savanna, so let's see if it is. And if it is, we might consider ourselves having enough stuff to actually start going back home. And it looks like all of these trees are of the oak variety and not the acacia variety, which is a little sad, a little frustrating. But again, getting as high as we can will allow us to, hey, and there's an armadillo. Of course, running near armadillos will cause them to roll up. But we do have all this nice rough terrain here. Some of this this coarse dirt and these old trees here, these oak trees. We are still looking for a savanna, which is why I'm trying to stay as high up as possible so that I can kind of see all around. Let's go off to the edge of this cliff here. Yeah, Pillager Outpost, we definitely don't want to voyage too close to. We've had some issues with pillagers in the past. And speaking of, I only ended up killing one of the pillagers, but the Iron Golem apparently killed the other four, and I got a cape and a one of the bottles, the obnoxious potions. All right, so it's starting to get nighttime-ish, so let's go to an island, I think, and set up a bed. Where's that island? There it is. Goodness, I cannot drive. I want to kind of get to this island, jump off, and just real quick set a bed, sleep in it. Just enough to reset the day, and then we will. What's this over here? There's something over here that looks interesting. I'm just trying to get onto land as quickly as I can. Is that just a cactus flower? I think that's just a cactus flower. Yeah. All right, so let's keep climbing up and getting towards, if not civilization, then our next savanna. Maybe over there some acacia? It looks like there's some acacia over there. And if that is, then that's going to be enough for us to call this a successful journey and start making our way home. There's some sand bunnies off to our left. Yeah, definitely looks like some acacia trees straight ahead. Rather small biome, but again, we only need one sapling to make it back home. All right, so let's get a smaller tree. This nice straight tree would be good. There's that beautiful orange wood. All right, that should be enough to get that to start falling. Love to see it. All right, so going into our inventory, we do have our bundle. Let's go ahead and take the acacia saplings and any of the acacia wood that we have left here. We have acacia wood, we have jungle wood, we have bamboo. I think we're in a good spot. So at this point, I'd go ahead and start the journey home. So we are currently at negative 1228, negative 1958. I want to come back to what, negative 700, negative 300. So I believe it's this way. Both the numbers are going down, so that looks like a wonderful way to start traveling home. Maybe going over a guardian temple was not the best plan. Serpentine, that's all I can do. But being in a boat is one of our faster modes of travel. There's a nice dolphin there. Could use some grace. All right, so there is my spruce that I put up a while ago. And I see our abandoned village off to the side here. That means that our house is going to be right over this hill. There's our house right there. Excellent. So now we can call this journey done. We can go ahead and make our way in. Take an inventory, take stock of what we did today. Let's go ahead to this chest over here. We've got our armor. Let me go ahead and just dump our old armor up here. That's our old armor. I can dump the contents of this in my inventory. That's everything in there. So I see we do have some jungle logs and jungle saplings. So we can go ahead and put that here. Or we can put jungle logs and jungle saplings in this chest. And now this is no longer missing. And I'll go ahead and replace that with an actual jungle sign in a bit. What else do we have? Well, we have acacia. So we'll go ahead and put some acacia here. Where's my acacia wood? Thought I picked up the acacia wood. There it is. So put an acacia log there. Put some acacia logs along the top. And this is no longer missing. And then we've got bamboo. So for now, we'll just put all these bamboo in here. We'll worry about building the bamboo block next time. And we're going to sleep in our own bed. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.